Yes, woo, woo, woo. I'm your host, Trill Will. Let's get some product placement in three, two, one. Boom! Greek jump. Yes, sir. Okay, guys, and for today's episode, it's gonna be a short one. Sadly, well, not really sadly. Just that's just as far as I've gotten. So, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of anime, manga, whatever. I'm a big fan of whatever interests me. So, I today at work, I started this new show that I saw on Crunchyroll that was pretty popular. It's called To Your Eternity. Now, this show is something that typically wouldn't really interest me because just from what I've seen, it looks kind of serious. But I had no clue going into it what to even expect. And so it's wild, bro. It's like almost like I'm watching Spirited Away, but instead of it being a movie, it's like a TV series. So it's kind of like I don't know what to expect at all with this. I don't know how many seasons this is gonna be. If it's just one season, I don't know. But I started it with an open mind because I'm like, I got to give it a chance before I knock it because there's a lot of stuff that's really popular on Crunchyroll that's like out there. Like one of them is basically like this guy is like Crunchyroll, it's got levels, bro. It's got the action, it's got whatever you want, it's got the lovey-dovey stuff, and then it's got like the weird, perverted type. Anyway, so far, this ain't none of that. This is actually like, again, it's like almost like you're watching a movie, but instead of it being a movie, like your name or like any of those type of things. It's like one of those type of things. Like it's not like I'm watching Dragon Ball Z. It's like more like your name or a silent voice, like things like that. That's why it gives me those vibes while watching it. Like, or Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, anything like that. It's giving me those type of vibes. From a TV series. But just getting into it, man. Okay, so for what I've gotten so far, like I said, I guess the show just got started. But I mean, I think it's a manga. I have not read it or a graphic or anything like that. I haven't read any of that, so I have no clue as far as how different it is or where it's at now or anything like that. But from where I'm at in the anime itself, um, I don't know, man. I still feel I'm mixed feelings about it. Like I like it. I think I like the direction it's going. I want to see a little bit more before I just like, because sometimes when you see something that ain't just folks killing each other and fighting, it's like, oh wow, this is great, this is amazing. Kind of like how I thought Promised Neverland was. Season one had me hyped. Season two, if you guys have read the manga, then you already know how the feelings are about season two. Because obviously season two gonna be like the last season too, I'm guessing. So it's no more seasons after this. That was not good. That was not good. People hated on Game of Thrones for the way it ended. That was not good. This ain't a podcast about that, but that was don't do that. Ugh, it's horrible. But yeah, this show. So the main guy. Let's delve right into it. The main guy is this guy. They call him Fushi. Um, Spoiler alert. I'm gonna talk a little bit from where I'm at, but hey, it is what it is. They call him Fushi. Um, he's from somewhere. That's the best that I've got. Because he starts actually. Let's do this right. It's this like spear thing that comes to Earth, and like the narrator's telling you all about like this is this and that. And I kind of really zoned out on him, but this sphere thing is able. I guess it's like almost like a organism that's just here to learn about what it is to be a human and whatever or anything, animal life. Because that's all. That's the spear. I mean, it comes to this little spear. It sees a rock, becomes a rock. If you guys have seen it, it sees the wolf in the storm and it becomes the wolf, and then the wolf gets taken care of by the guy, the kid, the boy. That's what they call him, the boy. And before he gets named Fushi, the boy, and the boy gets sick. He's out there chilling, and he's just observing, like doesn't even speak. And the boy dies, and he copies the boy. He becomes the boy. He becomes him. But again, like this guy can't speak. He's he. I don't know. It's almost like you're watching. It's almost like you're watching. If you don't know if you guys ever seen the slime show, or reincarnated as a slime, it's hilarious. It's pretty good. But except that guy, at least that guy knew he was a human, and he brought those human traits, to him. This guy's like starting from like a blank slate on everything, like like almost a story of creation. Anyway, The boy he meets the sphere transforms into these different organisms, and each time he transforms, he gets a different sensation from each one. And so far, it's that's the best I can explain it. I mean, I can't even really expound on it because that's just what's happening. He's this sphere that transforms into these different entities, whether he's the wolf or the boy, and he's learning. He's gathering data about Earth, about the planet, about just how people interact, everything. Like I said, it was like 4 episodes in, 5 episodes. Some gun couldn't even talk. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm at the point where he has met March. He's met these two people, and I finished his story. First of all, another thing that kept me going with this is usually it takes a minute for me to get emotionally invested, right? You know, you don't be thinking 3 episodes in, you're gonna be getting choked up. You know what I'm saying? You're really gonna be all feeling all sorts of emotions. And this show does it, man. I knew it was gonna be deep, but it's definitely deep. You know what I'm saying? Like early on, like we 5 episodes, 6 episodes in, we deep. I'm like, bro, like y'all got me feeling all these emotions, getting dust in my eye at work. You know, folks hear me sniffing. Nah, it won't, but bro, definitely, if you're not ready for it, it will definitely hit that emotion box. March was one of my favorite. Is one of my favorite characters because she was this little innocent girl who had these big ass. I'm already thinking my emotions. I ain't gonna cry, but no, I'm not gonna do it. But dude, March was cool, bro. She was upbeat, hype, you know, just a little innocent girl out here living her life, doing her thing, and she gets selected for this ceremony. Unbeknownst to her, is that you get sacrificed to this entity, this god that these people worship called Origanamu, Oragani, Oregano, anything, something like that, right? I don't think nobody's really seen him. Like he comes as this big bear, but I mean, like she said, it could have just been a big bear. It could have been anything. This is Perona. Uh, I might be slaughtering her name, but hey, she should have been named something simple like Susan. I'm just kidding. But nah, Perona is her guardian right here at the bottom, and she calls her big sis, so she's like a sister figure for March, and she takes it really bad. Like she knows what's up. March really don't know because she's so young, but Perona knows what's up with this ceremony and what's about to happen, and so she's like, "Nah, March, you don't want to do this." And they're battling with these people who host the ceremony. I think this is a smaller village and that a larger nation practices this, and they come to the smaller village to take their kids because they don't really want to delve off into their own, they don't want to get high on their own supply when it comes to these sacrifices. So they pick her, and you know, once she realizes what's about to happen, March up top, she ain't for it no more. She's like, I don't want to do this. I want to grow old. I want to have babies. I want to do all of this. I don't want to sit here and get sacrificed for nobody. And that's how Perona feels. Perona's like, man, this is outdated. Like we sitting here doing this old ritualistic stuff. We gotta stop it. This is where a boy comes in because he comes in and he saves the day. Well, he don't save the day. He really just shows up, bro, because March is running away. She's trying to escape or whatever, and she stumbles upon him. At this point, because he's traveling. That's another part to it. Apparently, he's a traveler. So he starts off at one spot. When he becomes the boy, he just takes off and starts walking. And at some point, he gets tired and he can't function anymore. So he just splashes off into this pond. You don't really hear from him no more until March is running and she runs to the same pond and she sees him. She don't recognize him at all because he's from a whole other part of the world. Cause he got white hair, they got black hair. She's like, oh, who you? He can't even speak. But one thing they bond on is, which was stupid and funny, food. He's hungry. She starts eating this fruit and she tosses him down one. And like literally, dude is like literally like a protoplasm when it comes to humanity. Like he gets on the ground and eats it like a dog. Eats it like when he was in his wolf stage, but he's a human now. So basically, he gets taught how to eat and all that and whatnot. But you see that he's learning, constantly learning. What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And it gets to the point where, you know what I'm saying? She says thank you. She starts teaching him how to say thank you. So he finally learns the word thank you. But he gets caught up with the people who are trying to get March back, the bad guys who are trying to get March back because they want to sacrifice her. March being this little girl. And they get her. But they manage so they get her pinned down, they finna sacrifice her. when old dude comes in and he fights off this big bear thing that's supposed to be like this entity, and like the guy entity that she's getting sacrificed to. He fights him off, and the people who organize all this, they're watching him and they're seeing him get killed because the thing bites his head off the start, but he's like this orb thing, so he turns and makes himself into another human thing. But then he becomes a wolf. He becomes that wolf that he first saw early on. Him and the bear going in, they're fighting. The bear can't really murk him because he keeps regenerating because he's that orb. He's not a wolf. He's not a person. He's an orb thing that's whatever. It's still beyond me what he even is. Keeps transforming. He's essentially he's immortal. Essentially he's at unlimited health, unlimited restoration, unlimited lives. He finally defeats the wolf. All right. And so the people, they're amazed. They're like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that the sacrifice went through because we don't want people to panic and think, all of a sudden the sacrifice isn't going through and this thing's, it ain't things like how it's supposed to be. So they go and they take a promise. They say, look, we're gonna free y'all. Leave Buddy though. There's something about him we want to know. But forget March, y'all can dip. March like, nah, bro. And low key, Perona and March are like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. But in their mind, like, nah, we ain't finna follow this. When they let us go, we're gonna get out of here and we're gonna take Fushi, the dude, the wolf orb thing with us. We're gonna let them experiment because they're gonna try to see what he really about because ain't nobody ever seen him like this before. So they escaped the little prison town they in where she was about to get sacrificed, and they escaped that little town, and they're running away. And the guard, the people that made the promise to him, they come in and chase him down. They're like, hey, no, y'all gotta leave him. We gonna capture him. And the whole time Perona's like fighting, she fighting back. March, she a kid, what I'm saying? She don't know what's going on. She's like, why they trying to attack her? She don't know. But Perona know what's up. She out there shooting arrows, she banging. And then March is still, she's like, with fuck, she don't know what's going on. She comes out there, she's like, what can I do to help? Big sis always helping me, I need to do something. She sees old girl, one of the attackers, lining her up in her arrow. She pulls it. March runs and intercepts the arrow, takes the hit for her big sissy. Bruh. Fushi sees that, and you know what I'm saying? He don't know really much about humanity. Like I said, he barely can even talk. He can't really say but one word. But you can tell that emotions and things like that, they affect him. And so he had built a bond with March. Seeing her get knocked down like that sent him into a rage. And like I said, he can copy things. So he fought the bear. So since he fought it, he was able to learn about it, to analyze it. Copied into this big bear. Like this is a big ass. This is a huge bear. Bear, like, it ain't no normal bear, ain't no polar bear. It's like 10 polar bears standing on top of each other. It's a big mug. He's on a rampage. He's spazzing now. March is sitting there. She's dying. And bro, see him getting sad again. March is dying, and she's telling Perona, like, look, you live the life that I couldn't live. All right? It's going to be okay. And Perona, she instead of shocked because March is dead and she's holding her and she's like, it's okay. We're gonna go to the city. We're gonna do all of this. We're gonna do all that. You ain't gonna die. March dies. Obviously, she's got shot with an arrow at primitive times. You know what I'm saying? They don't have all that type of resources. But Fushi was able to get calmed down while this happened. So Fushi is calmed down by Perona, seeing March again, and he goes back to his human state. And Perona, she distraught, bro, because March was like her dog, her rider. And she felt like she let her down. So she's getting ready to kill herself. And March is trying to talk to her. Because March is dead body-wise, but spirit trying to talk, but her spirit can't communicate with the living. But somehow or another, Fushi was able to hear her, I believe, because what he does, he stops Perona from killing herself. She tried to stab herself with a broken blade. He stops her from doing it, and he just looks at her. He's like, he like got a face like he about to cry. And bro, it's like this whole thing is kind of gut wrenching to watch. I ain't gonna lie, especially early on in the show. But bro, I know I went on a rant just then, but bro, I'm telling you, this thing brings all the emotions to you. Again, March, Perona. Right now, he's just left with this lady that I was escorting them from the city because she could speak the language or something like that. And so he's met this guy. I couldn't really get a good picture of him, but this kid he's met. He ain't really met him online. This kid now is the main focus. It's then moved on because I guess he's moved on because he does end up leaving that village where he met March and them and Perona Autumn Litter. He leaves the village. So he's meeting this kid next. Well, I guess he is, because this kid now is like the main subject. It's kind of switched off from Fushi and to this kid. I forget his name, Gugu or something like that. But yeah, it's this kid who like sells vegetables and whatnot. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here, because obviously what I'm getting out of it is this guy is just consistently travel, and this show is just going to show you his travels, his experiences with humanity, nature, all that. So I mean, overall, dude, I think it's a straight show. I'm gonna keep watching it. I might make do some updates on it. I don't know. If something crazy happens, I definitely will update how far I am. I think I'm just now where he meets this guy. So see what's about to happen. Maybe if I really like it, I might start even reading the manga on it. But I'm excited for it. It's called To Your Eternity. Right now, I'm not gonna say I love it or I say I'm gonna list it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep sipping this tea. I'm gonna keep watching it, and I'm gonna see what happens. And you know, maybe something crazy. I don't know. But so far, man, it's not terrible. I give it a. I mean, so far I give it a B minus. Nothing extraordinarily. It's like, wow, blowing me out the water. But this is storytelling and all that's pretty cool. So it definitely is a solid B for that. But hey, if you guys know anything more about it, or you have some input, or you can help me like understand a little bit more like what is actually happening, especially with Fushi's character, man, I'll be down. Hit me up in the comments. I'm always open. Like I said, I'm gonna get the socials on there sooner or later. This is my third episode, though, man. Takes time. Takes time to do stuff right. But I'm just grateful. I thought this was gonna be short, but I gotta say I got a motor mouth. I apologize. So I hope if I talk too much, you just cut it off and keep it. Nah, but I hope you enjoyed this one on the Geek Jump podcast. Your host Trill Will. Like I said, leave some comments. Let me know what you think about this or whatever else you're on, man. How you doing? It's storming over here. So I'm getting ready to log off. You guys have a good one on this Wednesday, June 9th. Holla.